Freedom House, promoting rights and justice in the Gambia. Today oriented 15 journalists who will undergo a 6-week investigative journalism fellowship. The fellowship aims to promote specialization in investigative journalism, enhance the quality of reporting on issues of public interest, and contribute to greater accountability and transparency. The president of the Gambia Press Union, Mohamed Esbah, emphasized the timeliness of the training, urging participants to apply what they learned during the course.
I believe investigative journalism is needed now than ever because of a lot of things happening in this country. Corruption, we've seen audit reports flagging a lot of issues in terms of mismanagement, financial malpractices. We've seen also politicians accusing each other for malpractice. We've seen the banter between the president and a very senior political party leader on these land issues, and each of them trying to justify some of the things that the issuance of their lands. So I think all these things are very critical issues that should be investigated.
Advocacy specialist at Freedom House, Alaji Nyang, highlighted the objectives of the training.
Last year, our investigative journalism training was actually, planned to go for 9 months. We, I think, ended up doing almost 16 months of that training. But it also allowed individuals that participated in the training to be able to, do their investigative report and finally publish those reports. That's the same objective for this training, to facilitate your understanding of investigative report, but in doing so, practice what you have been taught in class by writing your own story from the beginning of the session, and you will have the consultants that are identified to help you, guide you, help review and edit your report, but also give you some tips as to how to go about your investigative report.
Media specialist at Freedom House, as educator, advised participants to be committed.
So you actually applied for this. You were selected among 60 participants, among 60 people. So all of the others actually have been dropped. So you taking to be the ones that are going to do, you have to show utmost dedication and commitment to the task at hand. Not everyone actually has the opportunity to be trained on this. Many people want to be trained on investigative, but when you have the chance to, you actually do. Dija could tell you the first investigative journalism training that was done, 20 people were trained, but at the end of the day, you question how many people actually submitted reports. So it was because of that we actually changed the mode of the training to get the best out of you. So if we feel like at the end of the day, even if we do not have 15, if we do not have the amount of stories that we want, but we are assured that we have the best of the participants that we want, and those stories will be published at the end of the day.
Mustafa Sisse and Mustafa K. Daba, both trainers, advised participants to take the training seriously.
Investigative journalism, let me call it in-depth journalism, is time-consuming. So you have to get ready to be dedicated, to be committed, and overall, discipline matters. So in African society, I don't use it in a negative light, but it has to do with trying to put yourself in order with the norms. So the reporting an ordinary story may not have a time bound, but certain investigative ideas are time bound.
You can do this. This is pretty easy. Let's all learn the barriers we have created, the imaginary barriers we have created, and sort of relearn the basics, I think that we'll be together. Let's just show some bit of seriousness. If you can't also do a story alone, try to find 2 other people who are on the same pitch, and you do it together.
Kadigetu Jawa, a reporter from Malagan and an alumna of the first cohort, advised participants.
If you're interested in investigative journalism and you want a feature in investigative journalism, this is the gateway for you. You have to take this a fellowship very seriously. So the future and face of investigative journalism in the Gambia. It is never going to be easy if you want to be an investigative journalist, because you are trying to uncover what someone else there is trying to conceal. So you have to put the people as your focus, because at the end of the day, you are a journalist, not because of yourself. You are a journalist because of the people. As the former US diplomat rightly put it, if he's asked to choose between a government without a newspaper and a newspaper without a government, he wouldn't hesitate to choose the latter, because a good newspaper is a nation speaking to itself. So quality journalism at the end of the day is investigative journalism.
During this 6-week training, journalists will be trained on idea development, investigative journalism techniques and approaches, data journalism and multimedia storytelling techniques, amongst other aspects. Reporting for the Fatu Network, Mama Iture.